Hello and welcome to the Southampton University Key Concepts for A Level Philosophy series. In these videos, philosophers from the University of Southampton explain some of the key concepts for the AQA Philosophy A Level. My name is Fiona Woollard, and today I will be looking at the concepts of ethics and morality. So, I want to start by looking at the way in which the AQA subject-specific vocabulary for philosophy of religion and ethics defines ethics. They say ethics is a term that comes from the Greek word ethikos, which in its root form ethos means custom or habit. It refers to a branch of moral philosophy that aims to determine the meaning of right and wrong and subsequently the correct way to act. So, on this way of understanding ethics, it's a branch of moral philosophy. In fact, I quite often hear ethics used just interchangeably with moral philosophy. Let's look at the different branches of ethics. The first branch of ethics is metaethics, which tries to give a philosophical account of the practice of morality. So, we all make moral judgments. We say, that's wrong, that's unfair, that's unjust. I can do that, it's permissible. Metaethicists ask what we're doing when we make those moral judgments. So what does it mean to say that stealing is wrong? Is there such a thing as moral truth? And do we have reasons to act morally? The second branch of ethics is my favourite, normative ethics. Normative ethics examines the content of morality. So we want to see what we can say generally about what makes things right or wrong. We try and find some general principle or principles that tell us which acts are wrong. Or we try and pick out which things make a difference to whether acts are right or wrong. Should we always do what produces the best consequences? Is there a moral difference between doing harm and merely allowing harm? Are there some things you should never do, no matter what? The final branch of ethics is applied ethics, which looks at specific moral issues. What should you do in this particular situation? So, applied ethicists might ask, how much money should you give to charity? Is capital punishment immoral? Is cloning humans unethical? Now, the AQA might define ethics as a branch of moral philosophy, but that's not the only way that this term is used. Sometimes ethics is used more to indicate something like the thing that moral philosophers study. Sometimes people use the word ethics and morality interchangeably. So we might ask, what are the ethics of this situation? Or what does ethics require me to do here? We see this kind of talk most often when we're looking at the moral requirements of a particular role or profession. So people talk about professional ethics, journalistic ethics, about medical ethics. But sometimes ethics and morality are not used interchangeably, but used very carefully to pick out different areas of interest. So philosophers sometimes use morality to mean the set of rules that make actions right or wrong, required, permitted or forbidden, and use ethics to indicate a much broader set of considerations about living well. Ethics in this broad sense includes what makes a good human life, the ideals we should be aiming for, and the traits that we should admire. And morality is used to pick out a much narrower set of concerns about what we owe to each other, what we're required to do. So to sum up, Ethics can be used to pick out a branch of moral philosophy that tries to give a reasoned, coherent account of what makes behaviour right or wrong and how we should act. Or ethics can be used interchangeably with morality to pick out the principles or rules that determine how we should act. Or we can use morality and ethics to pick out a narrow sphere of concern and a wider one. So morality is the set of rules that make actions permitted or required, while ethics brings in a much wider set of considerations about living well. Thank you very much for listening to this video. If you want to find out more, you can go to southampton.ac.uk/philosophy or follow us on Twitter @SouthamptonPhilosophy. Thank you.